So this is the coral bell heuchera bed, and it's about 10:40 in the morning, and you see we have dappled light. It will in the front get more full light at some point. I'm not sure whether that's already come and gone and the sun's moving through. I think it gets more sun here in a little bit. So the challenge here is that the darker coral bells just absolutely recede away and you don't see them. So I've had to edge this with some lighter colored ones. You can see there. I need a couple in the back. And so today I've just been to Linda's nursery and I bought 2 more coral bells, heucheras, these big plants, and I'm going to put them at the back here. I may shift these burgundy ones around a little bit, move them forward a little bit, because I need a walkway in between here to get to the pot, to get back. Always have to plan for access, right? Well, so the impatiens are coming along just fine that I planted here several days ago. Oh, I wanted to show you. See how beautiful they've done? Now I'm going to leave my coleus to go to seed to see if they reseed themselves. See, I've got little babies down there. Do you see those little babies? There's 2 right there. Maybe those reseeded themselves. Wouldn't that be something? If this would come back every year? Well, we know now the impatiens will. This was the 2 flats that I bought and planted kind of densely. Now I know I don't have to do that because they really do bush out. The salvia has been an absolute, I know I didn't plant it, but it doesn't grow any bigger. Okay, so here we are with the coffee cups. See, they don't show up. I need to be against something brighter. So I'm going to plant these dragon begonias at the feet, and I got this trailing to plant at the bottom. So we'll do that a little bit later. I'm going to take you around. See, I've got a little bit of sun coming through here. Keep trying to get azaleas growing in here, and they pass out. They don't really get enough sun. The mouse garden's doing all right. Oh, can you see how, first of all, the wood chips have disintegrated, but you can see where the water has washed down. Looks like waves all the way down. Well, that's because there's a lot of water that runs off this hill. Okay, I want to show you the red hibiscus. These are the hydrangeas that are doing all right. This one actually put on blossoms. This one's bent over because of all the rain. I have to figure out something. Okay, so this is what we came up the hill for. Aren't these magnificent? And look at all the buds. So we're going to have hibiscus blooms for quite some time. This plant was well established when I bought it. It was already about 3 feet tall. This might have been 1.5 feet and it's grown. This is a darker leaf one. Oh, I put slug bait out here. You wouldn't know, would you? And it's a later going one. It's just starting to get buds, but this is going to be absolutely spectacular as well. Oh, look at all these buds that are just waiting to come out. Can you see that? Oh. So why do I like red and orange so much? It's because it shows up in a shade garden. Here's a butterfly bush that's in this dark purple, and it's not going to show up. Now my oak leaf hydrangea has these pink blossoms, and it's getting bigger. That was an investment. But that's going to get bigger, and it'll show up as well. Both of these will get much taller and spread out. So here are azaleas blooming on the 1st of August. Can you believe that? I know they do have some now that bloom 3 times a year, but I thought the 2 times a year was later in the season. So the sun is coming over the mountain, and it will eventually hit these hostas and these impatiens and the coleus for maybe 2.5 hours. Oh, look at the phlox. These have been spectacular this year. Just absolutely spectacular. And we haven't seen any. Oh, there's a hummingbird. Did you see that? We haven't had any, what do they call it, mold. We haven't seen any of that on here as of yet. Oh. So these are practically 5 feet tall, if I were to stand up next to them. And they're backed up against, oh, look at all the dead wood in that azalea. We might have to take after that, mightn't we? My family doesn't cut back their azaleas hardly at all, and not even their hydrangeas. And I talked my brother into cutting this back a little bit a couple of years ago. He did it very reluctantly, because Joyce kind of doesn't like things being cut back. So this giant coleus is doing fantastic. Totally shrouded my red salvia in there. We won't do red salvia anymore. Well, that was a quickie. I wanted you to see my new purchases and see where they're going to go. I've got some work cut out for me. I've got a Rex begonia in there. Can you see that at the bottom of that pot? Right there. I don't know how I didn't realize when I was planting things out here that was a Rex begonia. I'm going to dig that up and put it in a pretty pot. So, impatiens are sun to part shade, or part shade actually, but they do need a little bit of sun, so this hasn't been blooming too crazy. We've had so many rainy days for the last couple of weeks and hardly any sun. It's been overcast, and so things haven't taken off like they normally would. But you see these impatiens that I planted out here? These were all from impatiens I planted last year, and they reseeded themselves. And we finally got some 80-degree weather. They were up there directly in front of the hostas. So I just spread them out. And then they continued to have babies up there. So I went in and dug all those out and planted this entire stretch here. I don't know what this is. It must be 80 to 100 feet. There's our jack in a pulpit. The berries have not turned red yet. We'll keep you posted on that. And the impatiens that I'm put in the water, remember they do well with their feet in water. We learned that from Greg Woodstock at Aquascape. I hope they get enough sun to take off. I still have to work on this. I might just end up ordering a whole nother pump since I can't find what I want. It's in the storage room somewhere, but you know how that goes. I could be looking straight at and not see it. This begonia is from last year. it needs sun. And even though it's getting more sun than it did when I had it hanging from the eaves here at the front of the house, I'm going to try cutting this back in the fall and we'll see what happens there. Oh, let's see. We have another update for you. This chicken gizzard, that's what it's called here in the States. And I was watching on YouTube and came across somebody, I think he was from India, and he called it blood something or other. And because this was so leggy, because this was from last year, we wintered over. It was so leggy that I took cuttings. And I think 95% of them are doing all right. And you know, I was bold. Most of these are 6-8 inches tall. And I just stuck them in the dirt, wet dirt, left some water in the bottom while it rained, and I had to tip it out. Because I don't need them to be quite that wet. Anyway, so this is my ornamental cabbage. I took the seeds and planted them here. So at some point I'm going to thin these out. I'm going to let them get a little bit taller and I'll thin them out, make a couple more trays. Because I want to put them up in the garden where the impatiens are right now. Because the hostas will die back in the wintertime. I put one of these in water to see, so I could see how quick it would. See, it's already got roots on it. Oh, what did I do this? 5 or 6 days ago? Koya's root that fast too. Well, this is going to town, isn't it? My goodness. All right, well, it's a pleasure. Thank you for sharing the garden with me today. It's all good, right? All good.